I'd like to introduce Dr. Wagle. He's a candidate for Iowa Senate, District 47, which covers Bettendorf and Eldridge and the northern parts of Scott, and also a former school board member, or are you current? I'm sorry.
Current.
A current school board member for the last 12 plus years.
Yes.
Yeah, and also served as the president on that school board too. So without further ado, I'm going to give it to Dr. Wagle these next 5 minutes or so and talk about himself and his campaign. Thank you, Dr. Wagle.
Thank you very much, Mitch. I really appreciate it. And I certainly appreciate all of your questions and the opportunity to fill out that questionnaire and kind of give my viewpoints on these different and very important issues. So as Mitch mentioned, I am an ophthalmologist. I've been in the Quad Cities for 27 years. I live in Bettendorf. I'm from actually Wisconsin. I did my undergraduate in medical school there, and then I went on into North Carolina to Duke University to do an ophthalmology and residency and fellowship. And then I joined my group in Iowa. Partly the reason why I moved to Iowa is because I wanted to partake in the excellent public education system that Iowa has. And we have two boys that went through kindergarten through 12th grade through public education in Iowa. And I also wanted to come and be in the Midwest where I really felt my roots were. My wife is also a physician, and we wanted to go into a city or town that we felt had good education systems, had good values, and one where we could still raise our kids and not have to be commuting with our busy lives, both of us being physicians. And we were so happy to settle in the Quad Cities. And after several years, we really felt like that was going to be our home. And we've been there for this time and been very happy to be involved in our community. My wife and I, along with being physicians, we also have a lot of other interests. And we really feel that public service is really important in what we do. And we wanted to be good role models for our kids as well. My two boys, I have one who is a choir teacher at Cedar Rapids, Washington High School in Cedar Rapids. And then I have another son of mine who is in his third year of dental school at University of Iowa. So we are an Iowa-based family. And I got onto the school board 12 or 13 years ago because I really wanted to try and give back. And I really liked the education system that I grew up in. And so I wanted to try and instill some of those same qualities in the school system that my kids went to. And I've loved it ever since. I have really been excited about being part of the school board and helping steer the direction of our district. But I'm not going to lie to you, over the last 13 years, it's been very difficult, especially over the last 5 to 8 years, seeing how public education is changing in our state and the priorities not there at the state legislative level. Being a physician as well, I'm very pro-patient and I'm a very strong patient advocate. And in healthcare, we're seeing a lot of changes going on where healthcare is becoming less affordable, less accessible. And I was placed by Governor Kim Reynolds on the Iowa Board of Medicine. And I was on that from 2019 to 2022 for 3 years. And in that time, I was part of the board that was responsible for the health and safety of Iowans. And of course, during that time, COVID hit. And one of the things that I saw while I was in the Iowa Board of Medicine was seeing how medicine and healthcare, at least in the state of Iowa, was trying to be politicized. And I have been a physician and strong patient advocate, and I believe and follow the science, and I follow medicine, and I follow evidence-based medicine. And when I was in the Iowa Board of Medicine, I saw a lot of partisan politics playing in the health of Iowans, and I didn't like that at all. And I remained staunch to what was best for Iowans, not making it partisan. And the governor didn't like that. A lot of legislators didn't like that very much, to the point where after my 3 years, I didn't get reappointed again because I was such a strong advocate for what should be done for the safety of Iowans. And so that basically has also propelled me to want to run for the state government because I'm seeing the way healthcare is changing. I'm seeing the way public education is changing. I'm seeing that we have less kids leaving the state than coming to the state, and our economy is continuing to not do very well. And we need to bring common sense legislators into the state that are going to put Iowans first.
Thank you, Dr. Wagle. I appreciate that. Next, we're going to have Patrick, our chair of our election endorsement committee. We'll ask you a couple of questions, and that'll probably take about 6 or 7 minutes. And without further ado, I'll introduce Patrick. The floor is yours, Patrick.
All right. Thank you, Mitch. And thank you, Dr. Wagle, for joining us this evening.
Thank you.
So, as you alluded to in your opening, statement, we did use a questionnaire. We got your answers to that. Now we just have a couple clarifying questions for you before we make our endorsement decision. So, the first one was workers' rights question number 1, which asked if you support enacting a state minimum wage of $20 an hour or higher, indexed annually to inflation. You answered that you would support a law that sets an agreed upon minimum wage, but you did not indicate what you believe that wage should be. So please tell us now what you believe the minimum wage should be.
Well, ideally, I want a wage to be a livable wage, because right now we don't have any livable wages going on. And so if that number ends up being $20 an hour, then I would certainly support $20 an hour. If it's $25 an hour, I would support $25 an hour. But ideally, we need to start looking at minimum wages as being a livable minimum wage, so that people can actually have a life with a livable minimum wage. And I think our society would do a lot better if we enacted things like that. So that's basically where I would be at it. So if that number is $20 an hour, I would support $20 an hour. If it's more than that, I would support that as well.
Okay. So if it turns out to be determined to be less than $20 an hour, would you support that?
Well, it depends. And I'd have to look. I would have to look and see how they made up that determination. I want to make sure that it's a livable minimum wage. And $7.25 is just far below what it should be. And, I live in a border area. So when you look across the river in Illinois, I think they just raised it up to like $16.25 an hour. And Iowa's still sitting at the $7 number. Now, in some of these border areas, we're not seeing people paying $7 an hour, because we have a border right across the river that has a much higher one. But in the other parts of Iowa, it's becoming a huge issue. So if it's $20 an hour, and that will be able to give people a livable minimum wage where they're able to actually support a family if both parents are working, I'd definitely be supportive of that. The more money we give to our workers, the more it's going to help our economy, and the better it's going to do for our state.
Okay, thank you. So next question is education question number 1, which asked if public post-secondary education, including trade schools, should be free to students. In your answer, you stated that you would support a pathway that would make all post-secondary education affordable, which would seem to imply that you're not in favor of a tuition-free public post-secondary education. So please now confirm for us whether you would support free versus affordable post-secondary education in Iowa.
So I am certainly, if we can get post-secondary education to be free for all of our students, I'd support that 100%. My answer is I just don't know. That hasn't happened in any state so far, so I don't know how we would be able to do that. I would love to be able to do that, actually, for all of the students in our country. I think that if we are able to do that, there should also be some stake in the game for the student. In other words, I want that student to, if they're getting a free education, that there's a certain responsibility that they have to have as well. Like they have to show up to class, they have to, do the hardest they can to really show that they're making an effort to do well. But if we can make it free and not burden our students with tuition at all and give them a head start in life, that's one of the best gifts we can give to our kids and to all students. If we can incentivize our students to do whatever it is that they want to do, and get them into a productive field and be contributing to our community, that's what the goal should be. And if we can do that through free tuition, I'm all about that. Because the more educated society we have, the more productive our society will be, and actually the more tolerant society will be. So I see positives everywhere.
Okay, thank you very much. Mitch, that's all we had for Dr. Wagle.
Okay, thank you very much, Patrick. I appreciate your service tonight. Dr. Wagle, we're going to give you about a minute to kind of wrap it up on your end. Is there anything else you want to interject? Tell us about you, and I'll take the second minute and close it out.
Sure. So again, I'm running to obviously bring some common sense to the state legislature. I don't know if you know this, but there is no healthcare person in the state Senate right now. And so, and with healthcare being such a huge issue, as you guys have all noticed, it's really important that we get voices in the state legislature that are going to advocate for patients and advocate for what's best for our citizens in the state. And so by running in the state legislature, I would like to be at least a healthcare worker and a physician that will be pro-patient advocate because we don't have anybody right now. So they're making decisions about our healthcare, but not with our healthcare providers. So that's one of the other advantages I feel that I have is bringing a sound voice to what's best for our citizens when it comes to healthcare. Also, with my school board experience, that educational aspect's going to help, and we see that that's a top priority as well. And then, of course, just making sure that we have common sense representation in our state government, which we don't have right now.